Apple has just done something they've never done before, bringing a budget iPhone that actually feels premium. But there is a catch. The iPhone 16e packs some of the latest flagship features, but also remove things that you might not expect. So should you buy it now, or should you wait for something better? Here is everything that you need to know. So let's play a game, shall we? Let's put a number counter on the plus points and remove the points to see what we end up with. So let's first talk about the design. Now this looks and feels premium, but being very light at the same time. It is an aerospace grade aluminium on the sides with a matte glass back that actually makes it feel like you're using an iPhone 16. So that is 1 point for the iPhone 16e. Now it comes in two colors, black and white, and I obviously went with white because it looks very clean, as you can see. Now Apple also gave it an IP68 dust and water resistant, so it is durable enough to survive some accidental splashes. So if you accidentally drop this in a teh tarik, it will survive, but please don't do that. So yes, with the simple and great colors with an IP68 rating, I would give another point for the iPhone 16e over here. Now speaking of colors, you can also personalize the iPhone 16e with the new silicone cases like this winter blue color, which pairs nicely with the matte white finish. But since I just love white, I went with the white color case as well. Now while USB-C is here and it does support wireless charging too, but, and this is a big but, not that but, okay, so here's the thing, there's no MagSafe. Sad but true, because as someone who uses MagSafe all the time, this was kind of a bummer because it doesn't have the alignment magnet, so no more MagSafe accessories that can be used over here. But you can always go with a third-party cases route if you really need to. So I would give another 1 point since it has wireless charging, but I would deduct a point for not including MagSafe. But another thing that is also missing is the precision finding. So if you have something like an AirTag, you won't get the super accurate way of finding your items, so keep that in mind. So with that, here's another 1 point deduction. So yes, overall having a phone with this design and this size and this overall form factor was really nice and refreshing compared to using a bigger flagship that I'm really used to. Then the action button is also here too, just like the new iPhones, which means that you can launch the camera, activate Siri, open your favorite apps, or even trigger the new visual intelligence too that sees what you see, for this case, sees what the camera sees. So here's another point for the iPhone 16e for that. Now, one of the biggest upgrades here is the 6.1-inch Super Retina XDR display. It is OLED, so everything looks sharper and brighter, and it also has deeper blacks. Now, watching movies or YouTube videos was a great experience, where the edge-to-edge was way better than the LCD on older budget iPhones. But of course, there is a notch over here too, which is something that you will need to get used to if you haven't. And because there is a notch, there is also Face ID, so it doesn't have the Touch ID physical button like the previous SE. So if you're coming from the older iPhone SE or any other older model, this screen will feel like a massive jump in size, brightness, and overall power efficiency as well. Now yes, there's no 90Hz screen, but that is the case for the baseline iPhone 16s anyway, so I wouldn't deduct any points for that. But while there is a really great and a high quality screen, I would give this a tie because of the fact there is a notch, which might be something that a lot of people who are coming from the iPhone SE or even older models might not really get used to. But where I would give a huge point is the fact that Apple has made repairs easier, because on this iPhone 16e you can replace this back glass without changing the entire phone compared to before. Plus it also has the ceramic shield protection, which means that it is tougher than other regular smartphone glass. So here is 2 points for that. Now, one of the biggest flags that Apple has over most smartphones is the long-term support for their software, which is a total of 7 years, where only recently Samsung and Google Pixel devices have caught up. So yes, it comes with iOS 18, so you're getting all the latest software features, which includes my recently favorite and can't live without features like writing tools to proofread, summarize, and even change the tone of the text. So finally, you can make your texts sound more professional instead of just saying, "Bro, where dinner?" Then Genmoji is also super useful, more than I thought it was, which I did find myself using more than Image Playground, which also have been improved a lot since it was first launched. So that is another point for the iPhone 16e, because remember that this phone is for people who want an iPhone that they don't want to swap for the next 6 to 7 years, because software updates is a huge part of owning any iPhone devices. So powering everything inside is the A18 chip with a new 4-core GPU. Now this is something that I feel that a lot of people are not assigning enough value to, because this SoC is better than Android phones that cost twice as much. So yeah, imagine buying a phone that is double the price just for this one to outperform it. Ouch, right? But yes, more on the pricing later in this video. Now this is because this is a 3nm chip which has a GPU that is 70% faster than the iPhone 11 and 40% faster than the previous third generation iPhone SE. So of course I had to test out the gaming performance. Besides the usual easy-going games like Asphalt Legends Unite, I tried heavier games like Genshin Impact and it ran very smoothly on the higher settings, which I'll show the settings on the screen over here. But the biggest surprise is the new C1 modem, because this is Apple's first in-house design modem ever since acquiring Intel's wireless modem team. It is super power efficient and also gives better 5G speeds. Where I even tested calls in a basement parking lot where my phones usually struggle, so yes, no issues at all. Now battery life is also very impressive because Apple claims that this is the best battery life ever on a 6.1-inch iPhone with up to 26 hours of video playback. Well, based on my real usage, I could easily go a full day and sometimes even more than a day, and probably even 2 days if you're a bit more conservative on the battery, as I was ending the day about 5 hours and 18 minutes of screen on time with still 54% battery left. And this is day number 2 again, and I'm at 39% at about 10:43 AM. So let's add 1, 2, 3 points for all of these great features, shall we? Now let's talk about one of the most interesting features, which is this, the 48 megapixel camera. So this is like having 2 cameras in one, giving you the 1x mode for the standard shots and 2x mode that acts as a telephoto lens. Now you can zoom up to 10 times and the quality in both daylight and low light was really solid. The 12 megapixel selfie was also performing really well, not only for the portrait selfies during the day but also at nighttime as well. Now of course I do wish that if they included an ultra wide camera, that will be great, but unfortunately that is missing over here. But that's it, the portrait mode was still looking great for both people and objects as well. And yes, the video quality was top notch where you can record up to 4K 60 FPS both for the rear and for the front camera as well. So yes, while a single camera did a very good job at being a telephoto lens too, I would deduct 1 point for not having an ultra wide camera. So let's see how many points we have in total. Nice. That's 7 points. So the iPhone 16e is really a solid choice for people who want a new iPhone at a lower price. Whether or not you're new to the iPhone or upgrading to an older model, this is an amazing addition to Apple's lineup. Now it starts at 2,999 ringgit, which I'll put the USD conversion over here in Malaysia, which is decent, but I feel that if it was at 2,799 ringgit, it would make this a bit more competitive. But for a phone that has a great flagship SoC, a great amount of starting storage, and the same amount of RAM as the rest of the iPhone 16 lineup, this means that the phone will probably age up almost the same time as the other iPhone 16 lineups. Because remember, not all products are made for you. Some are made for your mom, dad, uncle, auntie, because they don't care, because this is an iPhone.